There we are, I think. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just waiting for the little thing to flash up to say, there I am. I'm live. So, good morning, everybody. It is, can you believe it's Thursday morning? The spirit world sees all. Boy, they've been watching me this week, I can tell you, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Yes, the spirit world sees all. So, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I have with me this morning my spirit guide Gregor, who is always to my right side. He's chuckling at me as I say this. And I have my lovely Chris, who is in Vermont. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Rosemary. Good morning, everyone.
Why has the spirit world been watching me this week? Oh boy, I've had a busy week this week. Are you ready for this, people? I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to tell you where I've been this week. I'm going to pretend that you are like my grandson who says, Mosey, where have you been this week? Now let me think. In the last couple of weeks or so, I've been to, are you ready? I've been to Canada several times. I've been to Spain. Um, Yesterday, I went to Iceland. Where else have I been? Oh, yes, I've been to Singapore. You're all thinking, come on, really? Come on, come on, come on. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. But I have actually. I've been to Iceland. I've been to Singapore. I've been to China. I've been to Canada. Where else have I been? I've been to England several times. Of course, you might know I've been to England. I've been all over the place because I've been talking to people in all of those places. Suddenly, the world has become so tiny, it's become so small, and you can literally have a fantastic, clear, precise, wonderful conversation. You can have tea with someone, you can have drinks with someone, you can say to your girlfriend who lives halfway around the world, why don't we get together tonight for drinks? And there you are, you're in each other's living room. uh, it is so helpful to be able to do that. Let me see, what mediums are there to use? You can use Messenger, which is Facebook. You can use Zoom. A lot of people are using Zoom. You can use FaceTime if you've got an iPhone or if you're an Apple device, so you can use FaceTime. Oh my golly, Chris, what other
Skype.
things? Pardon? Oh, Skype, of
Skype.
course. I think Skype was one of the first, to be fair. There are so many different places. There are so many different, let's say, mediums out there that you can use that can take you literally all over the world. And um, let me see. I think it was last week, or I'm losing track of time, but I was one of the first to see this beautiful newborn baby who was only hours old, and I was so excited that I could go into the living room of my friend's house and stand with her while she was gazing down at her brand new hours old grandson. And we were able to share that moment. And of course, we were in England at the time. So it's not just about going to different countries, it's going to different places within those countries also. So I've had a busy time. I'm exhausted with all this travel. Isn't it nice that you can travel to all sorts of places in the world and not even have to pack a suitcase? Chris, what do you think?
Well, most of us would consider how fortunate you are, but we do know, or at least I know, what comes with your gift sometimes isn't so fortunate. But
Well, oh yeah, it's always is. Although I can be tired afterwards, but it's always exciting. It's always exciting to talk to people from different cultures, people who have different ideas of things, and it's always exciting because while I'm doing my traveling, whether it's cyber travel or whatever it's called, uh, whatever it is that I'm doing, and of course I'm doing it all the time. I bring along with me, or actually, do they tag along? Do I bring them or do they bring me? I'm not sure which it is, but they tag along with me one way or another, or I tag along with them because I'm bringing the spirit world with me wherever I go. which reminds me, yes, I'm going to be, if you all want to tag along with me on May the 8th, yeah, we're going to be bringing the spirit world along there too. So on May the 8th, when we do our webinar, it's going to be hopefully exciting. We're going to be talking with the spirit world. Who knows what they're going to be telling us, and who knows what messages they're going to be bringing to us. So we're going to be doing that on May the 8th. So, all right. So now, Chris, my favorite saying in all the world, as you all know, is there anybody there?
Oh, you do have plenty of people on. You'll find this one interesting, Rosemary. Chris is on from Ontario, Canada,
Hi, Chris.
and we spent the surprising off the cuff time talking to Chris last weekend.
All right.
Remember about the roti, the
Oh,
pastry with the meat? So Chris is
yes,
on
but
saying
it's
good.
not really pastry, is it? So I've looked at that recipe. I've not gotten around to doing it yet, but yes. So hi, Chris. Thanks for the recipe.
Let's see. Ruth is on saying, I loved reading your books at a time when they helped me on my life's journey with connecting to source within and to my faith in life. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, Ruth, it's my pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Cheryl's saying she lost audio. I don't see that anyone else has said the same thing. So, Cheryl, maybe you can log out and log back in. And then Joanne's on from Brisbane.
Brisbane, Australia. See, we're already traveling this morning. Good morning.
Shaz is on.
Hi, Shaz.
And then
I think Shaz takes us into Singapore, I think.
Yeah. And then Mark is on. He says he's anxious to see you on the 8th.
Oh, don't be anxious. And I know what you mean, Mark. I'm really thrilled to be doing it. I'm really thrilled that you're coming along with us. So, so we're all looking forward to that. You do realize, everybody, don't you, that, let me see, we're almost at the end of April. That means May is our very, 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 very special month. We shan't get another May like this in a long time, because May is our 25-year, good gracious, 25-year anniversary of the Eagle and the Rose. And I can remember being on the Larry King show, and I was just thinking about him just earlier on this morning. I remember being on the Larry King show and actually speaking with his mother in the spirit world on that show, live on that show. And tears came to his eyes, and I was known, probably am still known, as the only person to make Larry King cry on air. So there we are. What a reputation I have, Chris.
Well, that might lead into what your Saturday story could be about, right? Tissues?
Oh, yes, lots and lots of tissues. Yes. And, while I think about it, just for all of you out there, well, for all of you who have had a consultation with me, you already know, don't you, that if you don't have tissues, at some point you're going to go and have to get them. So we're actually thinking of, saying when people book a consultation, we're actually thinking of putting at the bottom of the consultation, don't forget to bring your tissues with you, or don't forget to have your tissues ready. But yes, we're possibly going to tell a story of tissues and toilet paper.
Now there's a title.
Well, it's the 1st of May, and I thought, for story time, I mean, for Saturday, I think it's the 1st of May. So I thought that we should have at least a couple of stories talking about the Eagle and the Rose, and what happened, and how on earth did I from England get to be involved and manage to get my book published in America, which then went worldwide. And how did that happen? I know some of you already know the story, but hey, we may just talk about that. But we definitely will mention tissues and toilet paper. So, Chris, if you could remind me,
Yeah,
what a
definitely.
strange thing, tissues and toilet paper.
I like it. It's catchy.
Yes. Well, and talking of catchy, also, we might be doing it tonight. You never know. We might, who knows when we're going to be doing it, but we're certainly going to be doing more uh, Rosemary's off the cuff stuff. So I thought, you never know. We might start and do some off the cuff stuff, maybe even today. We shall have to wait and see. Chris.
Gianna's on from Italy,
Hi, darling.
saying, hello, or dear Rosemary, I am from Milan, and I'm asking if you will send a big hug to my mother, Philomena, and my brother, Julio. I miss them so much. I hope they are all right. They are always in my heart.
Well, actually, I was going to say, I'm sure, darling, that they are perfectly well and safe, but Graham is tapping me on the shoulder here. So that means that he also has something to say to you. He would, hold on 1 second here. Okay, he tells me to tell you they see your tears, but they see your love. They smile because you know that they are safe and you know that they are with you, and they send lots and lots of love to you. So Grey Hill is telling me that, giving me that message to give to you. Chris.
Debbie says, hi, Rosemary. You're pretty in pink today.
Oh, thank you.
Ruth is on from New Zealand. Penelope's on from Wilmington, Delaware.
So wait a minute. We've gone from Singapore. No, wait a minute. Where do we go from? We've gone from Singapore to, I forget where, somewhere else.
Brisbane.
Brisbane. We've gone from so Australia to Singapore to Delaware to somewhere else. Where else was it?
I don't know, Rosemary. It's tough to read and remember.
But we're all over the world, so I'm loving it. Oh, I know, New Zealand. I love New Zealand. I've been twice to New Zealand. It's a beautiful place, but what is nicer than the place are those kiwis. Did you know that New Zealanders are called kiwis, Chris?
No, I might have known that, but when you first said kiwi, I'm thinking of the fruit.
Of the fruit. No. And I have to tell you that I've been all over the world. There are very few countries that I haven't been to, one or two, I think. But I have to say that New Zealanders are without a doubt the friendliest, coming close on their heels, the Australians. They are so open, so warm, so welcoming. And I had such a great time. Excuse me. I had such a great time when I was there. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Sharon or Shaz says, I'm so excited about the upcoming webinars. And we wanted to thank Sharon. You sent us a testimonial about your experience with Rosemary, which is up on the website, and it's gone on Rosemary's social media, as did a couple others. So keep the testimonials coming because you're going to inspire others.
Yes, Sharon, thank you so very much. We have been able to share. There are so many people who, a lot of people who watch this show, but there's so many people in the world who talk about, what it might be like to talk to someone like me. What does it mean to talk to someone in the spirit world? Does it really happen? Is it really real? That sort of thing. There are so many people out there who either they don't have the chance, they can't afford it, or they, for whatever reason, they don't dare to do it, or they're afraid to do it. So one of the reasons, in fact, the main reason that we're asking people who have experience with me, and please everybody listen, we're not saying that this is going to happen to you with every, we're not saying, what are we saying? We're not saying that this is the experience that you can expect from other mediums or whatever they might call themselves. when we write the testimonies, people are only writing about their experience with me. Now, we love these testimonials, not just because they say how amazing and fantastic, they always credit me, which is really not fair because I'm just that intermediary. But nevertheless, it's, we all like to hear nice things about ourselves, don't we? But the main reason, the most important thing when we ask people for their testimonials is that so those of you who have not had that experience or are nervous about having that experience or are wondering is it worth it or whatever, you can, those testimonials can inspire other people. So even if you don't want to have a consultation with me, or if you don't want to make that connection with the spirit world, if you're nervous or what have you, whatever the reason, it is inspiring that other people can read that and they can see, wow, maybe this is really real. Maybe this does happen. Maybe this can happen. So the main reason we're asking for people for testimonials is because we're hoping that your testimonials will inspire others. So Sharon and all of the rest of you who are so nice and so kind enough to give us your testimonials, thank you, thank you, thank you, because you are inspiring other people.
It's
Chris.
like having them join your team, isn't it, Rosemary?
Yeah. Sharon, you're on my team. You're on my team. Yes.
Carolyn writes in saying, "Good morning. I just received 2 of your meditation CDs.
Oh,
Thanks to Chris for sending them so quickly." So if anybody wants them, I'm here, willing to send them out.
where is she? Where is this? Where is this lovely person who got these CDs? Anyway, keep going, Chris, then.
Cheryl says, "Do you ever feel when disasters are about to happen, like something strange in the energy of the world?"
Well, I think that sometimes I am forewarned, as I think many of us are. You might call it a strange feeling. It's not so strange to me because I'm used to it. I can remember though, and it's funny because these things happen. Let's say these warnings or these, so you have a feeling or a certain knowing, a sense of knowing something can happen anytime, anywhere. But let me tell you that I remember once, I'm going back many years, and I was doing the laundry. I was in England, I was doing the laundry, and I was putting my head in the washing machine, literally, practically in the washing machine or the dryer. I can't remember which it was, sort of shoving stuff in, when Grey Eagle whispered in my ear, "There's a plane crash." And I carried on putting the laundry in, and again he said to me, "There's a plane crash, Rosemary, but you can't do anything about it." So then I sort of took my head out of the washing machine and began to listen, and I heard for the third time, and I always use the 3-time rule. If you hear it once, pay attention. If you hear it twice, definitely pay attention. If you hear it 3 times, then you know that it's an absolute. And so I heard a third time, and so I actually told my friends who were with me at that time, staying with me at that time, there's, Greg was talking about a plane crash, and it was, I think, the next day that it was worldwide news that there was a massive incident at Lockerbie where I can't remember now what the name of the plane was, but anyway, it was a dreadful, really awful plane crash. And sometimes, when you hear these things, there are sometimes when you can do something about something. If you have this feeling and you're pre-warned, and you can actually make a phone call or check on things, or you can send out your prayers or what have you. Sometimes you can do something about the things that you are warned about. Sometimes your hands are tied, it's already decided, and you can do nothing about it. And as I watched the TV news, and as I watched the cameras go into the absolute devastation of Lockerbie, at that time. I was so sad, but at the same time, I knew that it was something that had was predetermined, that there was absolutely nothing I could do about it. So it's helpful to in one way to know that there are things that are predetermined, that you simply are helpless to do anything about, but that God does have his plan. We might not always like the plan, but God does have his plan. Okay, Chris.
Yeah, that was Pan Am 103, a
Oh,
terrorist
right,
bombing. Yeah,
right. It was what?
a terrorist bombing.
Yeah, there was absolute devastation. It was awful. But anyway, all right, moving on to better things.
Amy says, "Good morning, Rosemary, Chris, and Gray Eagle. Greetings from the rainy Adirondacks in New York. I love the
Oh,
Adirondacks.
me too.
I
Me
spend a
too.
lot of my fall over there. I wonder
Oh,
where
did
Amy
you?
is." Yeah, Mike and I go over to Long Lake on our anniversary. Our anniversary is in September, so we always time it with the fall foliage.
Oh, right, right. Oh, well, I used to pass the Adirondacks on the way up to Vermont from New York all the time. And it is a beautiful part of the country. So thank you
Ab-
for joining us.
Yeah, Sunshine Moon is on.
Hi,
She
Sunshine.
They say Sunday is my Easter, and my Yaya was always in charge and proud of her Greek heritage. Does she
Oh,
have a message I can share at our Easter dinner?
uh, I'm asking Gregor, and actually, here you go. Then here is something for you for your Easter dinner. I had such a great time with Reese when we had our Easter, which is just a few weeks ago. Easter is a very special time. If you are, if you celebrate for spiritual reasons, it's also a special time. If you're just celebrating for the chocolate and the rabbits and the Easter chicks and all the rest of it, it's also a special time. Um, so here you go. So from Great Eagle, uh, she will be there with you, watching over you. Um, Something about, is it Cleftico? Something about Cleftico. I'm a bit lost, but anyway, she'll be there. So you can tell them all she'll be there. Maybe you should have Cleftico for that dinner of yours, and your family should know exactly what that means. So maybe you have lamb or something for dinner. I don't know, but anyway, she will be there and she'll be with you all. So happy Easter to you.
Ruth is on, says, "Happy 25th anniversary for the Eagle and the Rose. This
Thank
was my
you.
favorite intro to you and your guide."
Yes. Well, I can remember, or maybe I should tell that story on Saturday, but I do remember when I was in England and sitting, and this was in the days, I mean, 25 years ago, there were computers. We did have computers. Not sure we had laptops, I don't remember, but everything was handwritten, and then I would handwrite it, and I would sit in the garden in England and think about all of the stories and all of the people that had come to me for consultations and all of the people who I'd spoken to in the spirit world. And I think that on Saturday, if you look if you've read the Eagle and the Rose, I am going to, I think, read an excerpt from the Eagle and the Rose for you. I'm not quite sure what the excerpt's going to be. It might be from the first story. Excuse me. And sort of, just for those of you who haven't read the Eagle and the Rose, or for those of you who have not had the experience, I think that maybe a little excerpt from the Eagle and the Rose on our 25th anniversary should be something that we should be doing definitely on our 1st of May, the first day of our celebrations. And for all of you out there, was Sunday the Easter Sunday day? This is what I'm going to be doing on Sunday morning. Chris is making me do these things. She's forcing me into doing these things, right? Not that I need much forcing, by the way. But we thought that every Sunday throughout the month of May, I would make something in the kitchen, and I'm going to hopefully have my daddy with me, maybe even Grey Eagle with me as I'm making this stuff for you. And so if they want to say anything to me, I'm going to be sharing what Grey Eagle is saying to me, and I'm going to be sharing what my daddy says to me in the kitchen. But I'm going to be making peaches and cream cheese. But this cream cheese is not ordinary cream cheese, people. It is my version of if anybody out there loves Boursin cheese, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like my version of a Boursin cheese, except not made with goat's cheese. I've tried it, making it with goat's cheese, but it doesn't work so well. But anyway, I'm going to be making a peaches and a special cream cheese that I make. If you want to join in on Sunday, if you want to get your ingredients ready and so on, we can put those ingredients out for you, right, Chris? We can have, so you need cream cheese, you need butter, you need red wine vinegar, you need garlic, and you need Worcester sauce, or as the Americans will say, Worcestershire sauce, but it's really Worcester sauce. What else do you need? Oh, you need a little bit of brandy. You say you're looking at me now, aren't you? All thinking, "Ooh, really? Ooh, really?" And you need some special barmonde, which is a nice sort of like a mixed salt. So you need a few different ingredients, and I'm going to show you just mash it all together. Actually, I'm going to show you how to do it. All I'm going to do is mash it all together, and also we're going to throw some herbs in there. I'm British, herbs with an H, or if you're American or French, herbs. So we're going to be making peaches and cream cheese. It depends on the state of the peaches, I might choose nectarines instead, and I'm definitely going to get some pears. So really we're doing maybe peaches, maybe nectarines, definitely pears, because pears are one of my favorite fruits. And this delicious cheese, I'm going to show you the appetizer to our celebratory meal. Our celebratory meal, for those of you who want to know, let me see. For the appetizer, we've got peaches and cream cheese. For the main course, we're going to be having a delicious fish, maybe with a Parmesan. Who knows? I might change my mind on the day. I might be telling you I'm going to do this, and when you get there to see me, I might be doing something else. But at the moment, a delicious fish, baked fish. What else are we doing, Chris? Oh yes, a dessert. We're going to be doing a dessert, a creme patissiere, I think, with some little pastries and cherries, maybe. Or I might do some meringues, or I might do both. You never know. Anyway, so we're going to be doing the dessert, and we're definitely then going to be showing you how I make my famous margaritas. This is a secret recipe, which will be a secret no more. It is already not a secret because it's in my cookbook, but it is my very famous don't have more than one, sip it slowly margarita. And maybe even some, a couple of other drinks as well. So all the way through the month of May on a Sunday, I'm going to be sort of making this 4 or 5 course meal. Each Sunday we're going to do a section of it. I want you to join me then, because that's going to be so much fun. See, we're doing so much on the month of May. What else are we doing, Chris?
Well, you're going to be taping your thought for the week.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm going to give you a thought for the week. We hope that you listen to me. We hope that it makes you thoughtful. We hope it inspires you. We're going to be doing that. What else are we doing? Oh, we're doing our Motivational Monday. So if anybody out there if you're struggling with motivating yourself, if you're struggling with, I want to write a book, but I can never seem to motivate myself to get it. If you have I want to, I want to get a new job, but so it's too hard for me to get out there and get it. You need some motivation. You need a just gentle kick up the bottom. Motivational Mondays. If you write to us, if you email us, I'll pick some of the stuff that you said and I'll help you to motivate yourself. And then on Wednesdays, we're going to do our Wellness Wednesday, which is our Healing Wednesday. I'm going to be showing you how to give healing, not just to your own self, but of course that's very important, but I'm also going to be showing you, we're going to be talking about healing for others as well. And if you have a healing story, or if you specifically request healing for a particular problem, email us, Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com, or actually really more importantly, Chris, K-R-I-S, Chris at rosemaryaltea.com, because she's the one dealing with it all. And we should definitely be talking to you. If you're a patient, if you become my patient, or if you have a health issue that you want help with and you'd like me to help you with it, we shall certainly take you along with us on our Wellness Wednesdays. Golly, we're doing something every single day of every single week in the month of May, because how many people do you know, aside from people who've been married for 25 years, and that's a feat in itself, but how many people do you know who can say, look, I did this 25 years ago and it's still in the public eye, and it's still selling, and it's still being read, and it's still being discovered by new people, and it's still inspiring people after 25 years. And Greg has put his hand on my shoulder. Boy, I mean, that is, yes, it's a sort of a tribute to me, but it's really a tribute to the spirit world, and it's really a tribute to Grey Eagle, and it's really a tribute to all of those people, all of those 25 years ago who came, and actually more than 25 years ago, who came to see me and allowed me to share their stories with all of you. Chris.
So if everyone goes on to Rosemary's website, www.rosemaryaltea.com, on the very first page, there's a downloadable PDF of the calendar with all of Rosemary's activities for the month. Print it off. You won't have to think about it. Just put it on your refrigerator and you'll know what we're doing every day.
To be fair, though, we're doing more than that, aren't we?
We are doing more than that. Those are your live shows.
What you find on the calendar is what we're definitely doing. And then, of course, we're going to be nipping in and out of your lives. You know that. We're going to be doing Rosemary's off the cuff stuff. So we're going to be popping in and out, and I'm going to be taking you with me and traveling around with you a little bit as I go about my daily life. Why people should be interested beats me, but there we are. If you're interested and you want to do it, I'm game if you're game. So we're going to be doing a lot of Rosemary's off the cuff stuff. Right, Chris.
You know what one of my favorites is going to be, honestly, they're all my favorites, but what you're doing on Friday, this is for your insiders that are going to have the chance
what am I doing?
to do the bottom brick exercise.
Oh, am I? Is that definite?
You're looking for volunteers.
Oh, I am.
And we're going to put this in the newsletter.
I'm looking for volunteers. Chris, why don't you see? I'm telling you, everybody, she is a real taskmaster. This was your idea, Chris. So why don't you tell everybody what we're doing on Fridays?
Okay, so Rosemary uses this exercise, a very powerful, life-transforming exercise, with her students. I suspect you still use that with some clients. You deploy that without going, this is my bottom brick exercise, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And picture a brick wall that's being built over your entire life, but all these bricks are pivoting on one brick, let's say, on the bottom layer.
I'm going to do this, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay. So many of us have a wall around us. We know that we do. We don't trust. We've been taught not to trust. We've had hurts and pains. We've had people who've been disloyal to us. We've had people who have let us down. So over the years, and as we grow and as we grow up and as we grow older, we build a brick wall around ourselves. That's what we do. And I think most of us do that. However, unfortunately, that brick wall, it not only protects us in a way, we think anyway, but it keeps people out. And it also keeps us in. So we have trouble expressing ourselves. We have trouble expressing emotions. We have trouble, we have trouble reaching out to other people. We have trouble in sharing. And, and all because we have learned over the years to build this wall around ourselves to protect ourselves. Unfortunately, it cages us, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really protect us. It keeps us separate from other people, which we don't always want. In order to get rid of that wall, what I like to do is to, I feel that, okay, if I'm going to knock down a wall, am I going to start at the top and knock it down, or am I going to go right for the foundation? What was that bottom brick? What was that first brick that started the wall growing to protect ourselves, that we were hiding behind? What was it that caused us to start to hide and caused us to have less self-worth and caused us to feel less than? And so what I'm hopefully do with my students, and it works very successfully, and I did it actually yesterday with someone, although I didn't call it the bottom brick. I often will say to people, let's look at the root of the problem. Let's look at the bottom brick. Let's look at the root. Let's look at where all this began. Where did it start, this insecurity? How did it start? And if we can get to the root of the problem, we can help people to see. We can shine the light and help them to see how they have built up this wall, and then help them to see how they can just, hey, we can tumble that wall down just like that. As long as we find the bottom brick, we pull it out, there's no foundation anymore, and the wall crumbles. It's a scary thing to do. Because when you've hidden behind your wall, when you've hidden behind, this is about self-preservation, isn't it? When you've hidden behind that for so long, and the idea of somebody then coming and saying, okay, let's yank it out now. I promise I will do it gently. I promise I will do it carefully. But what we're looking for is volunteers. We're looking for 4 or
4, 1
5.
for each Friday.
4 volunteers throughout the month of May, and who are willing to go on camera with me. Just like if Chris were to come on with me, you would see that. And so to come on camera and to so that I can show you what you need to do and how you need to do this for yourself, to inspire, to help, to heal. It's an enormous healing process. My students do it. They don't always like it, and they often struggle with it. But at the end of the day, when we're done with it, they feel, liberated. They feel freed from these restraints that they've learned to put upon themselves. So if you would like to join me in doing that exercise, it does mean being prepared to be on camera. And I know that lots of you are camera shy, but think of it this way. If you want to help, if you want to heal, if you want to be inspired, and if you don't mind sitting with me for an hour on Friday, and sort of, facing me with this, I promise I'll be gentle. If we can do this, I thought, well, Chris's idea, actually, we thought, because it's such a healing exercise, it's such it has such a freeing and a liberating effect on people's lives. We thought we'd like to share that with you. So we need 4 or 5, I don't know how many Fridays there are in May, but anyway, 4 or 5 volunteers. Email Chris, KRIS, at rosemaryaltea.com. If you subscribe, you'll be an insider on this. You'll be the first to know what we're doing, and you'll be the first to be considered to be a volunteer. So you do need to subscribe. And I promise it won't hurt. It's not painful. All you have to do is go to the website, rosemaryaltea.com. You'll see the subscribe button, click on it. That will take you immediately and put you on our mailing list. And we shall then send you mail, maybe 2 or 3 times a month, no more than that. I promise we won't we won't sort of inundate you with our emails, and it will then you'll become an insider. You'll be able to get our newsletters. You'll be the first to know, one of the first to know what's going on. You'll be one of the first when we start to book our webinars and things. You'll be the first to be considered for all of that. I mean, there are lots of benefits about being an insider, so we'd love to have you subscribe and share. So if you would like to volunteer, or you know of someone who you feel that this bottom brick would be helpful for, and you either want to do it yourself, or you can think of somebody who might want to do it, just remember, what you're doing here is you're helping us to really inspire and to help other people, especially those, how many times have people said, he can't show his feelings. He doesn't know how to show his feelings. Well, that's not because he's a, mean or a cold person. There are reasons why we like to discover the bottom brick, the real reason for this hesitation, for this inability to share and so on. And, I talk to so many people in the spirit world who have so many regrets. If only I'd said this, if only I'd done that. I had listening to a man yesterday who had so many regrets about being a father and a good husband, and too late now, and too late to say you're sorry afterwards, because sorry is only, it's just a word. You have to be sorry with your actions. You have to show with your actions. So, if you could help us to make sure that as few people have regrets as possible in their lives, that would be fantastic. So again, email Chris, Kris, at rosemaryaltea.com and say, I'll volunteer. I want to volunteer people myself, but I'm keeping my shut, because I can think of 2 or 3 people who are regulars on our show who would really benefit from this and who would be absolutely great doing this also. Chris.
All right. So, wow, we've got a lot of comments.
Oh, good. Let's go then.
But in order to stay with your theme of travel, so Robin's from Alberta, Canada, saying hello, and Sandy's also from Canada saying hello.
Hi.
Mark wants to let you know when Gray Eagle said to find a healer, he's found one out near Tulsa, so he thought you'd like to know.
Oh, good.
And does Gray Eagle feel confident that the person he's found is the one he's looking for?
Mark, we'll see. We'll have to see. Keep going, Chris.
Cheryl wants to know what your new book title is. No, I'm sorry. I'm reading that wrong. A new book title, perhaps, Rosemary, Tissues and Toilet Paper.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, well, no. The new book, when it's out, when I get to it, will I ever get to it, is called Gray Eagle Speaks. Yes, that's a book. And I remember my agent, the first time she ever read it, my one-time agent, when she read it, she went around the house the whole weekend hugging the manuscript. She could not put it down. She said it was like the best chocolate fix she's ever had. She said it was just like warm chocolate being poured all over her. The comfort, the inspiration, and so on and so forth. This is how she felt about this. When you hear Gray Eagle speak, it's heart-stopping. Chris.
Lori's on from Canada saying, I'm living on ice cream mostly lately. Maybe I should get some chocolate and send the picture from the plate.
Oh, yes, please, Lori. That would be fun. I would like you to do that.
Let's see. Ravi's on. Hello, Rosemary. How are you?
Hi, Robbie. I'm good, and I hope you're good too.
I am planning to leave my job and take a break in my career. What does Gray Eagle feel about that?
Oh, it's the best thing ever. You know that, Robbie. You know that. You absolutely need to do it, because you need to take a breath. You need to take a break. You need to, let's say, not to reinvent yourself, because that wouldn't be right, but you need to become more of who you are, and you can't do that because you're so worn out. So this is a good thing. Chris.
Julia is saying hello from Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Hi, Julia. I don't know where Cocoa Beach is from me, but doesn't it sound great? Cocoa Beach. It sounds like it's just a beautiful beach. I hope it is.
Maybe we'll visit Cocoa Beach when I get down there, Rosemary.
You know what? When you come down there, Chris, I think we should go visit Wendy. I think we should go to Cocoa Beach if we're invited. Get those invitations ready. I think we should do quite a bit of traveling, Chris.
I think so. Penelope is asking, does Gray Eagle have a message from my mother?
Not right now, Penelope, but keep trying. Don't give up just because I'm saying no right now.
Leandro is saying, good morning from Argentina.
Hi, darling.
I love
See?
Rosemary's work and I really want to have a private consultation with her. I can't stay right now to watch the live though.
All right. A private consultation, email Chris, Kris, Chris at rosemaryaltea.com, and she'll send you all of the details and all of the info. So keep going, Chris.
Shashi is saying, hello, Rosemary and Gray Eagle. I just
Hi.
want to know when I will meet and find my life partner. Love you all.
Oh, is that all? Is that all you want to know? Well, let me see. Would you like a time and a date? Not going to happen. But here is what Grey Eagle is giving you a little bit of advice, my darling. And that little bit of advice is that you need to stay open. You know, have you ever seen, this is what he's describing here. Have you ever seen a clam on a beach when it's open? And, you know, a clam is, for those of you who don't know, is kind of a shellfish. So when it's open, it's like this. And this is who you are, my lovely. You're open, you're happy, you're open, you're there, you're waiting, and then all of a sudden you get closer and closer and closer to getting your dream, and all of a sudden you clam up because you're so scared. What if it works? What if it doesn't work? So you really want it, but you're afraid when it gets close. And this is why you keep missing, because you immediately, as soon as you get close to getting your dream, you immediately run back into your shell because you're afraid of being hurt. And that's perfectly normal. It's a perfectly natural way. However, you got to learn to stay open, my darling. You've got to risk it. Chris.
Jen says hello. I'm sorry. She says good day. Watching from down under in Australia.
I gathered that. Good day. Good day to you.
I
so
love that
pleased.
accent. Sharon saying in response to our comments earlier about the consultation and the testimonial, it was my pleasure. It was truly an incredible experience, and I haven't stopped smiling since.
Oh,
We are
lovely.
looking forward to booking our next consultation with you next year, God willing.
Oh, wow. Well, good for you, my darling. It was my real pleasure. And I have to tell you, getting to know your mother was just amazing for me. So thank you for allowing me into your lives. Chris.
Fernanda says, good afternoon, Rosemary from London.
Hi.
Today is pretty cloudy here. I am originally from Brazil and I miss the sea and sun so much. How is the weather in the USA? Rosemary, if possible, I would like to ask if you could just send my love to my lovely granny and grandpa from me and my mom. I'm wondering sometimes what they are doing. Thank you in advance.
Well, your love, I don't need to send it, sweetie, because they hear you. So they've already received your love. You know, this is, I think, what people perhaps have a hard time understanding. You don't need someone like me to talk to your loved ones in the spirit world. When you talk to them, when you put out your thoughts to them, you don't even have to verbalize the words. You just have to think of them, and they are right there. They feel, they read your thoughts, they connect with you, they hear you. You know, this program is called The Spirit World Sees All for a reason, because they do. But I can tell you that Grey Eagle is telling me you and your mother are so well loved, very well loved by those in the spirit world. And apparently, again, according to Grey Eagle, they're sending you lots and lots and lots of love and kisses. But can we go back to the fact that you went from Brazil and that beautiful sun and those beautiful beaches? How could you do that to yourself? I mean, I love England, it's my home. I love London. But let me see, the beach, the sun versus London fog. I'm going to take the beach. I'm going to have to take the beach and the sun. Although there are no more beautiful people than my British people, because because I love you all. There are no more beautiful, more loving, more caring people than there are in England. So I don't want to say go back to Brazil. Of course, I don't want to say go back to Brazil, because you're obviously you're enjoying where you are. But what is it like here in America? We have so many different states, and it's so cold in so many different places. But I can tell you where I am, I've got the best of all worlds. I've got the sun, I've got the sand, I've got the beaches, I've got the warmth. I'm loving every second of it. I'm loving every minute of it. So I do live in one of those warm places, and I really wouldn't trade it. Chris.
Our friend Gary's on. He's listening live.
Hi, Gary. How are you doing? And what's going on with this stuff that you're going through right now? So I'll be with you hopefully next week when you're having your little op there. But don't worry, you're not going to pop your clogs before it happens. For those of you in England, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Gary, you should know what I'm talking about. I'm glad you're watching, my lovely. Chris.
Elizabetta says, Dear Rosemary, I have
Hi,
been through
darling.
a tough time recently, which I hope is over. Can Grey Eagle tell me if any of my relatives have a message for me? Thank you.
I think the message that's coming over loud and clear, Elizabeth, is stay strong. You are doing beautifully. Despite all of the things that are being thrown at you, my goodness, you are shining bright. You are doing really well, and you are shining bright. Chris.
Sandy says, this is not related, but I love your skin tone, and that color really does suit you.
My skin tone. Well, this is me. I keep saying to people, no makeup there. I rarely wear. I rarely wear face makeup. Thank you for that. People are always saying to me, "What makeup do you use?" I only ever do my eyes. I've no idea why, but well, I do know why, because when I was a kid, see, now we're going off onto another tangent here. When I was a kid, I used to suffer with my eyes. And well, I'll tell that story another time. But as I got older and as I got to be a teenager, I found that if I wore eye makeup, it stopped my eyelids from getting sore. I had this condition called blepharitis. I know, which is, it just is basically makes your eyes, the rims of your eyes are really, really, really sore. It's got to do with sort of, who knows, but anyway. But I used to suffer with that. So as a teenager, I found if I used eyeshadow or used sort of just puts a little bit of makeup on my eyes, that it would stop it. It would stop the irritation. So hey, I always wear eye makeup, even when I'm by myself, even when I'm not going anywhere. I usually put something on because it stops me from having that issue with blepharitis. And you see, you're all wondering, aren't you? Now you can. The more we talk, the more we do this, the more off the cuff stuff we do, the more you learn. The more you learn about me, and hopefully the more I learn about all of you guys. Chris.
Angeli Grace is on telling us a little story about her experiences, and maybe you can help her with them. As a child, I always saw the future plane crashes detail by detail. I used to keep newspapers regarding them. The most detail was the one that fell in the cornfield. I saw it 4 days before, with heads rolling, and I said, "Not everyone, only 111 people." I was in high school at the time, and 110 people died, and a week later in the hospital, one couldn't survive the injuries and died, made a total of 111. So she's giving us a lot of heartbroken hearts.
Okay. All right, listen, darling. What we're looking at here is precognition. And there are a lot of people, myself included, who do have precognition. When we have precognition like this, I think it's those in the spirit world who are trying to say to us, uh, you know, this is planned. This is God's will. They're trying to reassure us that there is a plan. That God does have a plan. We may not like the plan very much, but precognition doesn't only happen when we have tragedies. When we see tragedies, it can happen when we see wonderful things as well. It isn't very pleasant sometimes, but it's actually, these are things that are given to us as gifts from the spirit world to help us to understand that there are so many things that are preordained in this life of ours, and that that these things are meant to be. Chris.
Suzanne says, "This week I was thinking about reaching toward the person who mistreated my sister many years ago. I believe his grandma was with me that moment. I knew her for a brief moment. Does she have a message?"
um no, I don't know, but I certainly have a message for you. I think that sort of having those feelings and of reaching out to somebody, I think they're often good, but do it carefully, do it gently. Don't just barge into somebody else's life. It might be something that they choose to not remember. It might be something that you know I think what we should do when we have these feelings is we should send out our prayers, we should send out our energy, we should send out our love, and we should surround this person with whatever good thoughts that we have, and if something else is meant to happen after that, allow it to happen. Chris.
Cheryl says, "I did splurge for the seminar this Saturday. I can't wait. Hope I can find a quiet spot in my home without interruptions. Laugh out loud."
Cheryl, we'll be looking forward to seeing you. Of course, it's a week on Saturday. Our first seminar is a week on Saturday. We'll be talking to the spirit world. We'll be letting you know what it is that you will need to do, because I think that for all of you who are joining this seminar, we're going to be asking, maybe if you'd like to mention if there is one person in the spirit world that you would like to connect with, and who would that be? And you can send that in, or you can send it in on the day. We'll let you know anyway beforehand. I'm not promising we'll be able to talk to that one person that you'd like to connect with, but we're certainly going to be talking to as many people in the spirit world as we possibly can on Thursday, the 8th of May. It's going to be an exciting time. Chris.
Sandy says, "I am a former school teacher who became a psychic medium largely by accident. I have wondered about whether I am truly connecting to the other side or if I am just reading people's thoughts telepathically. How does one know the difference?"
Oh, there's a huge difference. I wish we had time to talk about it now. What we need to do is just follow me and keep checking throughout the month of May. It may be one of those subjects that we will actually talk about or go more in depth with, because uh, there is an enormous difference between mediumship and sensitivity. Both are great, but there is an enormous difference. And I'm so glad that you're questioning this. And I'm so pleased that you're actually wondering about this gift, because so many people just go ahead irresponsibly, and it is irresponsible. So maybe, Chris, that'll be one of our off the cuff stuff topics.
Okay. Writing that down. We're coming right up on 12, Rosemary. So one last question, you think?
Yes.
All right. This is from Jessica.
Hi,
Hi,
Jess.
I just discovered Rosemary a couple of weeks ago. I wonder if my daddy is with me and if he has any messages for me because I really, really feel like he's trying to tell me something lately.
Jessica, uh, I think you might be right. I think your daddy is trying to tell you something. I think he's trying to say to you that he's with you, but you're coming up to some changes, apparently. Um, yeah, you're coming up to some changes in your life, my love, and you're wondering if you'll be able to manage, or will you be strong enough, or will you be smart enough? And um, very briefly, the answer is you'll be fine, and that your daddy is with you. I wish I had more time for this. Uh, these are the kinds of things we're going to be doing on May the 8th, you know. So we're going to be talking to those in the spirit world, and we're going to be sort of addressing some of the issues and some of the problems that people have, and being able to allow the spirit world to their opportunity to steer and guide you all. So maybe that's something, Jessica, you might want to think about doing. If not, just keep trying. So I'm sorry to sort of, it's a, yes, I think your daddy is with you. Yes, I think he's trying to say something to you, but I think what it is trying to tell you that you can, with all these changes coming up, it'll be tough, but you'll be fine. I think that's it. We're good. All right. So I would like to say thank you to all of you for joining us this morning. I wish we had more time, but we don't. But anyway, so watch out for us for the month of May. Please visit the website, rosemaryaltea.com, if you want to know more. If you want to become an insider, then just click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing. And it means basically that you'll be able to join in with what we're doing, and we'll inform you, and we'll send you our newsletter, etc., etc. So you'll be able to know what's going on as and when we plan things. So we shall be, let me see, we shall be here on Saturday. Saturday is the 1st of May. Saturday will be our first day of celebrations. We are celebrating the entire month of May. Gosh, we're going to be busy. For those of you who want to join me in the kitchen on Sunday for peaches and my special cream cheese, what can you do with cream cheese? How can you make this? Is amazing cream cheese, let me tell you. So if you want to join me, I think Sunday is at 11 a.m. On this coming Sunday. It will be perhaps a different time every time we do it, but anyway, it'll be this Sunday. It'll be at 11 a.m. And I'll be making my peaches and cream cheese. Maybe I'll be adding a few pears in there as well. You know, we're sort of coming countdown to April. So that's okay. We're starting our party. We're starting our celebration. We're not entirely sure, because look, if it's off the cuff, it means it's sudden, it's quick, it's a quick decision. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But we might be doing something today. We might be doing something tonight, some off the cuff stuff tonight. I might be doing some off the cuff stuff tonight with Chris. So please stay open. Watch your screens, everybody. And if I don't see you before, I should hopefully see you on Saturday, because yes, Saturday is our story time, and we're going to be talking about the eagle and the rose. We're going to be talking about stuff connected with the eagle and the rose, because after all, that's what our celebration is. 25 years. In the meantime, watch for us. If you want to volunteer for our Friday bottom brick exercise, you need to race to the email, Chris, K-R-I-S, at rosemaryaltea.com. You've only got a week in order to be the first person there. But please, we'd love to have you. We'd love to help you. We'd love to help you to help us to inspire other people. So, so pay attention, everybody, because we're going to be putting invitations out there, perhaps for some of you to join us at some point. So until I see you again, and who knows when that will be, thank you so, so much for joining us. Thank you, Chris, for all the work that you do. Thank you to Grey Eagle, especially for being with us and helping us here. And please, everybody out there, have a very, very blessed rest of the day, and have a very blessed rest of the week, everybody. Thank you for joining me from all over the world. Wait till I tell Greece that we've been to Greece. Well, have we been to Greece, or was it just a dinner? Have we been to? Yes, we've been to Australia a couple of times this morning, haven't we? We've been to Singapore, I know, a couple of times. We're all over the place. I love this travel stuff. Don't you love this travel stuff? Bye, everybody. See you hopefully on Saturday for our story time, and maybe before then, our off the cuff stuff tonight. Bye, everyone.